You know that feeling, right? You glance at your phone and boom, no signal bars, just nothing. It's usually just annoying.
A bit of a mini panic. Yeah.
Exactly. But imagine that lost signal is actually the first sign someone's not just messing with your connection. They're going after, well, your entire digital life.
It's a scary thought. And that's precisely what we're digging into today. SIM swap scams. We're drawing on some great insights from FinCrime intelligence here.
Okay, SIM swap sounds a bit technical, maybe even dry, but the FinCrime intelligence piece really paints it as pretty insidious.
Absolutely. So what is it fundamentally? It's basically when a scammer tricks your mobile provider, your phone company, into transferring your phone number over to a new SIM card.
A SIM card they control.
Precisely. And that's where the real danger kicks in, because think about how often you use your phone number for security. Those little text messages with codes,
Two-factor authentication, yeah. For banking, email.
cryptocurrency, social media, you name it. If they control your number, they get those codes, and that unlocks everything.
Wow. So FinCrime intelligence makes it clear this isn't just about your phone not working. It's a potential gateway to, like, full-blown identity theft.
It really is. So our mission today, for you listening, is to break down how these scams work, what warning signs to look for, and crucially, what practical steps you can take to protect yourself.
Let's dive into the mechanics then. How do these criminals actually, manage to pull off a SIM swap? FinCrime intelligence says it starts with gathering information.
Right, they need your personal details first. And how do they get them? Well, the usual suspects pop up.
Phishing emails trying to trick you. Those big data breaches we hear about all the time.
Exactly. And social engineering, too, basically manipulating someone into giving up information. Sometimes they even piece it together from public sources, stuff that's just out there.
It's a bit chilling how much info can be scraped together.
It is. And that social engineering part, it can be quite sophisticated. Maybe a call pretending to be your bank, creating a sense of urgency, saying your account's at risk.
And they just need to verify a few details to help you.
Bingo. Details they then use against you. So once they have enough name, address, date of birth, maybe the last 4 digits of your card,
Enough to sound convincing.
enough to call your mobile provider and impersonate you. That's the next step, FinCrime intelligence details.
And they'll have a story ready, right? Oh, I lost my phone, or my SIM card stopped working. Something believable.
Something common, yeah. And they'll ask the provider to activate a new SIM card, the one the scammer has in their hand with your number.
And if the provider falls for it?
Your phone suddenly goes dead, no signal. Because your number is now active on the scammer's SIM.
And they start getting all your calls and texts.
Critically, yes, all those texts, including those vital two-factor authentication codes.
Which means that second layer of security you thought you had.
It's bypassed completely. And as the report highlights, this can give them access to, well, almost anything tied to that number. Bank accounts, email.
Crypto wallets, other online services, scary stuff.
And it can happen incredibly fast. So knowing how it works is one thing, but how would you know if it's happening to you? What are those immediate red flags FinCrime intelligence mentions?
Well, the big one, the most immediate sign, is that sudden total loss of mobile service. Just nothing. Can't make calls, can't send texts, no data.
And it's usually abrupt, right? Not like wandering into a bad signal area. It just cuts off.
Exactly. But FinCrime intelligence also points out some other, maybe secondary indicators, things that might happen around the same time.
Like what?
You might start seeing emails or notifications about account changes you didn't make, password reset requests you didn't initiate.
Or login attempts from places you've never been. Little digital breadcrumbs that something's wrong.
Yeah, it's like seeing warning lights on your dashboard.
And the key takeaway here is, if you see these signs, especially that sudden signal loss combined with weird account activity, act immediately. Don't just assume it's a glitch.
Okay, so let's zoom out a bit. FinCrime intelligence emphasizes this isn't just petty theft. SIM swaps are often just the first step, a kind of gateway to bigger financial crimes. How does that work?
Well, once they control your number, they effectively control that SMS verification channel. So they can intercept security codes needed to authorize large money transfers, for example.
Ah, so they use the SIM swap to defeat the bank's security measures.
Precisely. It neutralizes a key defense. And these attacks seem particularly common against digital banks, fintech platforms, and, as you mentioned earlier, crypto exchanges.
Places where money can be moved quickly, I imagine.
Very quickly. And the FinCrime intelligence analysis shows the losses can be huge and happen before the victim even fully realizes their number has been hijacked.
It sounds like this is a global problem then. Are regulators catching on?
Oh, definitely. FinCrime Intelligence notes there's growing awareness worldwide. Telecom regulators, financial watchdogs, they're paying attention.
So what are they doing?
In some places, they're pushing for much stricter ID checks before a carrier can issue a new SIM or port a number. Like maybe you have to show up in person with ID.
That makes sense. More friction for the scammers.
Exactly. And there's also a move in some regions to mandate multi-factor authentication methods that don't rely just on SMS.
Like using authenticator apps or physical keys?
Yes, things that aren't vulnerable to a SIM swap. But, despite all this.
It's still a major threat. Why is that, according to FinCrime Intelligence?
Well, think about how much we rely on our phones now. Mobile banking is huge. Our digital identity is increasingly tied to that number. It just makes the phone number itself a more valuable target.
A bigger prize for organized crime?
Unfortunately, yes. The attack surface keeps growing.
Okay, so given this persistent threat, what can we actually do? What are the practical defense strategies FinCrime Intelligence suggests for us, the users?
Right, let's talk protection. First off, they strongly recommend moving away from SMS for two-factor authentication wherever you can.
Use those authenticator apps instead,
Yeah.
like Google Authenticator or Authy, or even better, a physical security key.
Exactly. Those are much harder for a remote attacker to compromise. Second, and this is a really good tip, contact your mobile provider and ask about setting up a PIN or password specifically for your account.
Like an extra security layer just to make changes to the account or SIM.
Precisely. It adds another hurdle they have to overcome, even if they have some of your personal data. Many carriers offer this, you just have to ask.
Good to know. What else?
Keep a close eye on your financial accounts. Set up alerts for logins, password changes, large transactions. The sooner you spot something weird, the better.
Vigilance is key. And just being aware of the tactics helps too, right? Knowing how they might try to trick you.
Absolutely. Education is a powerful tool. And finally, if you suspect anything that's sudden signal loss, weird emails reported immediately. Call your provider, call your bank. Time is critical.
It sounds like a lot falls on us, but the phone companies have a role too, surely.
Oh, absolutely. FinCrime Intelligence points this out clearly. Providers need robust identity verification. Make it genuinely hard to impersonate someone.
Not just asking for a mother's maiden name they found online.
Right. They also mention using better anomaly detection systems that flag suspicious requests, like someone suddenly trying to port a number after years of no changes.
And maybe alerting the customer directly if a SIM swap is requested, like an email or a notification through their app.
That would be ideal, yes. A direct alert gives the real customer a chance to stop it. It really has to be a team effort.
Okay, looking ahead. Criminals never stand still. FinCrime Intelligence also touches on emerging threats, how fraudsters are adapting. What's next?
Well, technology evolves, and so do the scams. The rise of eSIMs, those digital SIMs built into phones, presents new angles.
How so? Is it easier or harder to swap an eSIM?
It's different. It might involve tricking you into scanning a QR code or socially engineering support staff in new ways. Plus, with mobile-first banking becoming the norm, the reliance on the device itself increases.
And they're getting more sophisticated in their methods too, aren't they? The report mentions things like deepfakes.
Yeah, it's quite alarming. Using AI to create fake audio or even video to impersonate you during verification calls, using high-quality forged documents.
Wow. So they could potentially make an AI voice clone call customer support sounding exactly like me.
That's the potential threat, yes. Or use AI to generate convincing support chat messages to trick you. It makes detection much, much harder.
Which really hammers home the point that we individuals and companies can't get complacent. Fraud controls need constant updating.
That's the crucial message. This isn't a static threat. It requires ongoing vigilance and adaptation from everyone.
So, wrapping this up, our deep dive into the FinCrime Intelligence findings really underscores it. SIM swap scams are serious, they're evolving, and the potential financial fallout for you can be massive.
It really can. The keys to your digital kingdom handed over. But the good news is there are steps you can take. Seriously, consider those stronger authentication methods, set up that carrier P, stay alert.
Be proactive, not reactive.
Exactly. These steps really can make a difference.
Okay, so here's a final thought to leave you with, something to chew on. As these scams get more sophisticated, using AI, deepfakes, targeting our core digital identities, how do our methods of proving who we are online fundamentally need to change to stay ahead? That's a big question for our digital future.